Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Adventures in Arcane Space. Once again, our players are...
I'm Corporal Higgimus, 4th class. I'm playing a Giff fighter.
Hi, I'm David Big Mac Shepherd. I play Braxon, who's a human fighter from an asteroid near Brow.
Hi, I'm James. I play Ockar, human paladin.
I'm Levalithana, an elven wild mage, let me say it right.
Lafdul Moonglade. He's a specialty priest thief. He's from Faerun, a very long way away. And he's getting a bit homesick.
It's actually not as far away as you were when you were on Brawl.
We actually went to realm space for a little bit.
Well, past it.
Past it.
Not
Did
sure
you wave
exactly
out the
where
window?
G-Man is. He'll show up when he shows up. Anyway, you guys are on the Moon of Refuge in the Sphere of Refuge. Bring you over to the Phlogiston map. Which
Well, that's conveniently named.
for those on watching the stream, there's a few more things on the map now. I've detailed it a little bit more. But for you guys, it's mostly the same. All right, so... Yes? You're about to ask something, Big Mac?
No?
No, I was just laughing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so was I.
Sounded like you're about to say something. All right. So in the last session, you just docked up, and you paid the fees, and now you're welcome to decide how you're going to spend your first visit to Refuge.
How's
Are we
this
still
place
on
look?
ship?
So, as you were coming in from orbit, you are docked in a small lake that has a variety of docks. It's about 75% full. There's a number of other ships. It looks like mostly trading craft around. As you were coming in, you saw what could best be described as a garden world. There are a number of large buildings, small buildings, but basically every single building is either surrounded by or separated from the other buildings by a garden. Flowers, bushes, grass, trees, which look like fruit trees probably, just covering every available inch of terrain. The area itself is terraced up to a center point where there are a number of large buildings located. And some of the buildings around here are quite large, much bigger than just about anything you saw on Brawl.
The arcane are pretty big.
Well,
And they're pretty wealthy.
Oh, this is extremely fancy.
Braxon says to Higgimus, it'd be nice to explore a bit, but we've got a bit of mathematics here. What is the cost of docking fees for leaving our ship in dock versus the cost of selling it with hull damage?
Oh, point.
Because I could continue to work on the ship, and we could stay here a bit longer, and the spellcasters might want to do some spell research or something.
How much was the docking fee per day?
Let's see. That was... The per day fee you have not actually paid. It's paid when you get ready to leave. But you look at the form that you were handed, and it comes to just a simple 1 gold piece per day.
Oh, that's not terrible.
So it looks like we'd be better off to stick around and fix up the ship.
You think?
What's
Well-
the difference?
Why don't we find out what sort of value we get for the ship in the condition it's in versus the ship if it was perfect?
Okay. So there's that. How much of it can you repair in a week?
1 whole point per week.
Yeah.
And then there's the cost of our living space and renting an inn or whatever.
Yeah,
Well-
so it's not just us, it's the time spent. So
And the crew.
you're not going to get repaired all the way unless we pay to have it repaired.
Or you spend many, many weeks.
Yes. So we got to 49 now. So I mean, I'd say that's fine. I think we would spend more money just being here and repairing than it would be if we were to repair it to full and sell it then.
Well, why don't we work out if there's any business that people need to take care of on here that would have us hanging around for a week or more? That wouldn't involve all of us.
All right.
Weren't
so
we on like a vision quest still for Higgimus?
yes, kind of.
So, we don't know if that's time sensitive.
Yeah, well, if we got to go, then we sell the ship. But if I remember before, Ockar wanted to make a suit of armor, and we all hung around Brow for a while he made a suit of armor, and people went off and did other things. So, if there's anything like that, it would make sense for me to continue to work with the crew on adding whole points to the ship.
Does anybody
Because-
in that case have an extended project that they need to work on while they're here?
The only thing I have in mind is trying to find somebody who can train a wolf. But I don't think I can find that here.
I mean, there are a couple of things that Lafdul might want to do, but he's leaving it at that. He's not saying anymore.
I was thinking at most we would want to spend like a week here, or at least enough to finalize the paperwork on buying a new ship.
I think
That's
a week
fine.
is fine. I can't think of anything better.
Oh, I asked Higgimus. I kind of like forgot about this. That thing that we're carrying, we're supposed to deliver. Do you want me to skim read the top pages of it? I assume it's going to be written in Elven. I can look through it through my ring.
The
Could
satchel
it not?
thing?
Could it not have a glyph of warding that blows it up when you read it?
I have detect magic. Hang on.
Be careful about that. We don't want that blowing up in a populated area.
Yeah, I've got detect magic. I can cast detect magic. Are there any rules against? Oh, I've got no customs. I need to find out if there are any rules about casting spells here.
Well, I mean, you've got a ship. You can always go below deck.
No, we do that. I just go below deck. I cast detect magic. See if there's any rules on it.
The entire satchel is radiating magic.
Oh, all right. Maybe not.
Abjuration magic.
Yeah. All right, I'm
Well,
not
for
following that.
you, that would actually be probably a mixture of divination and protection.
It's probably got scrying protection or of some description, or to know if it's been tampered with. So.
Yeah,
Eh,
I suggest we don't mess with it. I mean,
no, that's
the
fine.
elves'
That's
business.
why I used detect magic in order to find out if that was the case. So
All
I
right.
just leave it as that.
Okay, so in this case, I think we just need to be here as
Oh.
long as it takes to conclude our business with the ship and our gopher trip.
Okay.
I also gained a level on my priest, so he can detect magical items that I failed before. If you wanna, people know what items they didn't get my priestly protection on.
Oh yeah, I've got this ring.
I'm not sure if anyone had. I mean, if you specifically remember an item that you failed on, I will let you. But if you just think you failed on it or
Yeah.
you didn't have it written down, then no. Because if you guys weren't actually paying attention to which ones you failed on, then
My black knee-high boots. I've only got abjuration. Sod it. I'm just thinking while I'm here.
all right. Let's see.
I assume it would be animals or travelers.
Oh, those are the ones that you got way
Yeah,
long
ages ago. Yeah, I've only got abjuration on it, so which is the mage skill.
All right. So let's see. That is going to be Indeed, you were right. Animal.
Yeah.
Animals!
Thank you. Did you get that magical bow identified, Braxon? Because I can detect magic, see if it's got anything on there. Have you got no skills written on it?
I've got something written on it, but not everything.
I mean,
Did it
once
have-
you've cast Identify on an item, then you're getting more information out of Identify than you would get out of Detect Magic.
He's never used a bow. Might be cursed.
No, Braxton went to use it, and then something
you?
happened, and he had to put it down.
Detect Magic won't reveal that something is cursed.
Doesn't matter. If we're just going to waste time on this, so just carry on. I can do it another time.
All I've got is it's a fine bow of you, apparently of halfling make.
All right. So, what do you guys want to do on Refuge?
All right, so there two things I need to take care of are one, delivery of the satchel. It's just a satchel, correct?
Basically, yeah.
That we deliver to the elves. Yes. So that would be the first
I
order of
will go with
business.
you.
Next would be
I'll go along.
procuring- buying the ship stuff. Seeing what's available for the ship. So I guess going to the shipyard.
Braxton would want to go along with both of those.
All right. So, you is there anyone who doesn't want to
Give
go?
me a
Let's put
second.
it that way.
I got stuff to do after
All right.
the
Yeah.
satchel's delivered.
So is Braxton.
Okay. So, Leva, do you want to go too?
Yes.
Okay. So everyone decides to go. You head to the dockmaster's office. It's well appointed, clean. There are expensive fixtures around of, fine gleaming brass, maybe even some silver here and there. The dockmaster himself is not there, but there are some assistants who, when you say, hey, we're looking for the elven representatives, they barely even look up from the work they're doing and point you to a map, surprisingly.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow. Okay.
So
I'll take some time to study that real quick.
so on the map, you quickly locate the location of the Elven enclave here, the Elven Imperial Navy offices. There are a number of various banks listed. There is one called the Great Vault, which is near the center. There are taverns all over the place. This is basically like a big wall-sized map. There's a handful of casinos, and there's even some place called a hospital.
It's interesting.
And, of course, at the very center, there's the Arcane Tower with... and it lists services including ship purchases, helm purchases, item purchases, stuff like that. There is also a large open spot on the map called the market.
Okay. So yeah, I guess first place be to the Elven Embassy.
Okay.
Hospital. What a strange and foreign land.
You head to the you quickly jot down the directions that you need. All of the roads, avenues are well marked. It looks like a lot of the buildings around here are villas. Large personal dwellings and stuff like that. It looks like other than the arcane tower itself, most of the other than taverns and inns and things of that nature, most of the shopping is in the market. It's a wide open area, surrounded by storefronts and stuff like that.
Okay.
Braxton's going to look at all the buildings as he goes along, looking like a tourist.
All right.
But he's actually looking to see if anyone's following us. Every
Okay.
so often.
Give me a D20.
suppose that would be crossing Lafdul's mind to keep an eye out for thieves, actually. Seeing if telltale signs of any thief guilds.
Maybe I should have done a secret roll.
No, it's fine. I mean, you don't know what you're rolling
something
against, so...
Yeah.
It's something that I was thinking about asking.
Alright, so I'll basically just kind of use that, I'll keep that roll in mind, if anything comes up. You, right now, don't see anyone following you.
Yeah.
There are a lot of Giff around in small squads of 2 and 3. They're armed with pikes of some sort, clubs, and wheellock pistols.
Of course they are. Every Giff has to have a wheel-lock pistol.
Yep.
What's wrong with that?
And I just found it kind of funny.
They like their smoke powder.
Lafdul's going to come up with a spell to ruin smoke powder.
No, well, that'll go down well.
Yeah, that seems like a great thing to do to your...
Although the spell magic probably does that anyway.
If you did that, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting in the way to protect you from Higgimus and his great sword.
That's why I wanted, like, a protection from good spells. Well, so I needed some. That's what I was doing with Lever a while ago. I was trying to feed our pets some meat so I could get her rodents dung, which
Well,
is spell components.
I think these are just thoughts that we're not hearing.
Yeah.
In which case, Braxon won't know anything about it.
Yeah, nothing's actually been said. I'm just saying it to the characters out of game.
If this ever happens, Ockar's not gonna protect you.
I don't think he would protect me anyway.
So near the docks are what appear to be warehouses as well, but even they are well built. It looks like there's more of a form over function to a certain degree on a lot of these buildings, and you're also seeing a wide variety of architectural styles. Just things that you're familiar with, but you see dwarven architectural elements, gnomish architectural elements, halfling architectural elements, elven architectural elements, architectural elements from a dozen different human cultures that you're aware of, and then more beyond.
God, what kind of hotspots did we walk into?
For some of you, would probably consider it a bit garish and clashing. Because you can have a dwarven building right next to an elven building, and they don't, go together well. But at the same time, just about every building is separated by some gardens and things like that. It looks like they don't really have farms so much as things are just, grown everywhere. You do see some workers, harvesting some fruit from the trees and things like that.
What a strange place.
Many of the buildings are, like I said, villas. You see some, some of them are obviously guarded, some of them are not. And as you're walking down the avenue towards, making your way to the Elven Embassy, you're seeing, beyond just the Giff patrolling everywhere, you're seeing people from all different races and cultures. You even see a few gnolls, some orcs, and hobgoblins. They seem to be playing nice, which kind of surprises you to some degree. Then again, there are also Giff on every corner, pretty much. So it looks like if any of them got a bit rowdy, the Giff would be quick to respond and put it down. You even see some beholders, and what you don't see is Neogi. You do not see any Neogi or Umberhulk anywhere. But
well,
just about
good.
anything else that you could think of.
I'm just kind of surprised by the beholders, but I guess there are some intelligent beholders out there that freely trade with people.
There's beholders on Brow, so we'd have seen one or two of them there.
Oh, true. Yeah, I guess beholders are not too weird.
There's only one beholder on Brow.
Is there?
Yeah. Large Luigi,
Seriously? Wow.
as far as I know.
Okay.
I don't believe that beholders are one of the races that's allowed to trade on Brawl.
Well, we know that it's rare, but it happens, apparently.
Well, so you would have an idea that the beholder ships that they use are made by the Arcane.
Hmm.
So it makes sense that there would be beholders here at one of the biggest Arcane shopping centers in the known spheres. Now,
Well, let's
what you
try not to anger one.
what you do find interesting is that you guys would be familiar with the xenophobic reaction that beholders have towards other beholders, and you have definitely seen at least two beholders in relative close proximity, i.e., a street away. They could have seen each other of rather different colors. One was purple and blue, and the other was kind of a dun colored. And
Why aren't they killing each other?
Yeah, from what you would be familiar with, you would have expected them to be killing each other. At the same time, that also kind of makes sense considering that they all have to go to the Arcane, and the Arcane may not sell to them if they start fighting each other here.
Don't the Neogi use arcane-made ships or helms?
There are two competing theories that you've heard. Is that the Life Jammers were actually a creation of the Neogi, but you've also heard that the Life Jammers were a creation of the Arcane and were sold secretly to the Neogi.
Ah, okay.
Are Neogi spellcasters a thing?
Yes. You encountered some.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
One
Right.
zapped Braxon.
That was several sessions ago.
Not that long ago.
So, it doesn't take you too long, about 15 minutes of winding through broad avenues. And the avenues tend to be very straight, although the planetoid that you're on is terraced in a lot of ways, so sometimes there are ones going up at an angle, not very steep to get from one terrace to another. But it doesn't take too long to get to the Elven Embassy, and it is surprisingly small. Go ahead.
Interject.
Yeah.
Would I have had the opportunity to use no customs on someone? Because the area effect is me, but obviously it's cast at someone.
I think it's more cast at an area. Like, I mean, you know the customs of the area that you're in.
Yeah, I must be within 30 yards of a member of the tribe or village for the spell to have effect.
So
I would have to cast like a semi-populated area.
We're in a semi-populated area.
right, well, so it depends on whether you want to try to get the no customs of
The general lay of the land.
yeah, let me see.
Like big known rules,
To
It's a
be
useless spell
safe,
die.
you would probably want to have it cast in the presence of an arcane or something like that. And you have not seen any arcane on the streets.
Mm.
But basically, you would want to cast it on someone who lives here permanently. Which, just walking down the street might not be the easiest thing to figure out in such a place.
Is it deliberately... It doesn't really have a subtlety rating, so I can't really tell. It's got verbal and somatic, so it's obvious that I'm casting a spell. It's only a 3-second caster.
Well, it's a casting time of 3. That's not 3 seconds.
Well, yeah, I didn't mean that.
It's fairly
I
subtle.
want to know if it's a showy spell.
It's not particularly showy. The longer the casting time, the showier it is. But it generally would be obvious to anyone paying attention that you're casting a spell. Whether they would recognize what the spell is another question.
I might see if I can get permission from one of the elves who live here. I ask them if they allow me to cast it. But then they'll just say, like, what do you just ask me?
So, well, what I'll say is that you could have cast it in the harbor master's office.
Yeah, that would
Master's
work.
office. Okay. So let's see.
But you still got a row, so if
Yep.
you
Saving throw.
resist.
Where is my saving throw sheet? There we go.
Generic NPC. It's
Yeah, not
so
many things
generic,
could have made it with a roll like that. All right, so you
Yeah, I
know. Okay, so you know basic laws and customs of the area, and most of them
Basically-
are fairly typical. Murder is outlawed. Theft is outlawed. There are some other ones that seem kind of weird to you, like no undercutting the arcane prices.
Oh,
Oh,
that's a good one to know.
The
I'm relaying this to the party to give them an idea.
there's a lot of other trade-related ones. Apparently, there's a law about breaching the Great Vault, which does bring a death sentence.
Lafdul thinks to himself awfully disappointed, but he's also intrigued.
And so you basically, you have a basic understanding of the laws. Also, the word of an arcane is law. So if an
Oh.
arcane comes and says, says something, that's basically law.
Is there any hierarchy within the arcane speak? Is it just any arcane?
That's what you're getting, is the word of an arcane is law.
Yeah.
I just had a mental image of a Giff wearing Judge Dredd armor and a helmet. You disobey the law! Ah!
Basically, the whole point of me casting a spell is if a situation comes up where I'm with the party and we might be doing something that might do something compromising, then
Yep.
I've used a spell in order to prevent such a situation.
Yes. There's a variety of things that you know as the character that you don't know as a player right now, just because they'll be situational. So, you feel free to ask me. What did I learn from my spell based on this situation, kind of thing. as I go.
Are there any tithings that are known customs to certain thieves guilds? That might
I
give
mean,
me an
there's
idea.
there's no specific laws about thieves guilds that you learned, but you,
Oh, all right. Then, if you encounter thieves, should you go to the guards? Is it like too generic for me to figure out that there's going to be thieves guilds on this place?
yeah, places don't usually have laws like that. Like,
Yeah,
if you
that's
encounter a thief,
general crime.
go to the watch kind of thing. I mean, but thievery is outlawed.
Mm-hmm.
So
Like any reputable place.
yeah. Interestingly enough, there really don't appear to be any laws about drunken disorderly conduct.
Oh.
But there is also a law that about obeying authorized Giff. Basically, they can roust you and you can't complain.
Mm-hmm.
would that include Gift that are of a lower rank than Higgimus?
They're under the authority of.
Yeah.
Arcane.
I mean, it doesn't matter that a Giff would be lower rank. If Higgimus tried to countermand, I mean, the Giff here are hired to do a job, and if Higgimus tried to countermand one of those, they'd be in violation of their contract. And That would be that would be bad for Giff. Giff aren't supposed to renege on contracts and stuff like that, especially when smoke powder's involved. So I mean,
Cool.
Like if Higgimus tried to tell a Giff, no, you don't want to roust me. The Giff may not say, then roust you, but he could certainly go to an arcane and say, by the way, this new Giff is causing problems. You might want to go pay a visit to him. So. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions before that you want about the specific laws?
Not listening to the player characters can think of something while I'm reading this out to them, so to speak. They might have a question to ask me.
Okay. Well, I
can't think of anything, but Lafdul might be wondering whether there's laws against impersonating an arcane.
I don't think I can change into an arcane because they're too tall.
Yeah, they're much too tall.
Can't you stand on 2 cans or something?
He could try and we could probably make Higgimus look like an arcane, enlarge him.
What is an arcane?
So an arcane is a 12-foot tall giant, blue skin, bald, very thin. Like picture the humans who get up to like 8 feet tall kind of thing.
Oh.
And you're kind of looking
like
at
Andre the Giant.
Well, no, not Andre the Giant, because he was really, really big. But the people, like many basketball players who are over 7 feet tall,
yeah,
they're really thin. They're actually really thin.
Mm-hmm.
So they're really thin. They also have an extra joint on their fingers. So they have 4 rather than 3.
James, if you go and look, the people who would turn up in the Guinness Book of Records and stuff for being extremely tall, they're also extremely thin.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not quite that thin, since that tends to be very unhealthy. But the point is that Higgimus, as tall as he is big. He's very wide.
He's more like Andre the
optical
Giant.
illusion. We make him an optical illusion. We'll grow him a little with enlarge. Use some makeup to make him look like him.
We're not doing this.
So Higgimus, so these guys look like those really tall basketball players, while Higgimus in comparison looks kind of like Andre the Giant.
Might be a better. Yeah, if you want to picture it that way, yeah.
Higgimus looks like a hippo.
Arcane also have very tall skulls. I mean, their heads are very long, but not long like a
skull is wide.
Not long like a horse or something like that, but just long and thin. And they're completely
Higgimus
bald.
has a wide skull.
So yeah, that's what an arcane looks like.
Cool. Shall we head on into the Elven Embassy then?
Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
On our way.
The building itself, like I said, is a bit smaller than you would expect. It doesn't look like the full contingent of elves in the Elven Forest back on Brawl could even close to fit inside this building. It is a bit of a tower, and it's got kind of it reminds you of a tree in the way it flows up and then kind of expands at the top.
Who's the person that wanted us to bring this satchel here?
Commander, the
Lieutenant
captain.
Commander, I can't remember her name.
I will look it up just a second. That was Lieutenant Commander Ilanasis Filarinen.
Ilanasa?
Ilanasis.
Nasus. Oh, man.
Elven names, aren't they great?
They're such a tongue twister.
Ilanasis.
Yep.
Alright, I'll try.
All right.
Okay, so, yeah. Head to speak with somebody there.
All right, when you're stopped at the entrance by an elven guard, but as soon as he sees the satchel that you're carrying, as soon as you show it, he says, "Please wait. I will announce you." And he goes inside. And after a couple minutes, he says, "Please come in."
All right, I'm gonna go through the checklist in my head of all the etiquette things I need to remember when dealing with these elves.
Do you want to roll a proficiency check?
Sure.
Lafdul just says hello in Elvish.
Oh!
Oh
Right.
no!
What did he roll? I didn't see.
On
Oh,
the bright
19.
side, it wasn't
19.
a 20. At least it wasn't a 20.
No, it wasn't a 20. My etiquette, I would have need a 14.
Okay. Well, I mean, basically that just means that you don't know anything special. I mean, you can treat them as you would treat a superior and hope that that's gonna be reasonable.
All right.
You know? Or yeah, well, let me put it this way. Treat them how you feel that you would treat them.
Yeah, I'll do that.
The role just means that you don't know anything special to do.
Braxon also.
Go ahead.
Braxon also greets them in Elvish.
He
Was there any
kind of looks
laws
at you
again?
oddly, but he guides you.
I'll
on.
say-
Yeah, I did it in Elvish as well.
I'll say hello in Elvish. I know Elvish.
Do you?
Leva looks puzzled.
I do. I know Elvish and I know Dwarven.
He greeted you in common. That's just weird.
Hey, Higgimus will kind of turn around to you guys and be like, "Are you guys done showing off?"
Exactly.
Okay, fine.
I was doing it because I'm an elf. I'm just being polite. It's one of my folk.
I was just following whatever Lafdul did, really.
All right. So yeah, but I mean, keep in mind this is a military guy. You know, this isn't just an elf in the market kind of thing.
I don't really know any difference.
He just gives a kind of a shake of his head as he guides you into the. Oh, were you having a problem with your audio, G-Man?
Yeah, I was.
Okay. All right.
And a bunch of background noise.
He guides you into an office, and he turns to the officer there and introduces you. He would have gotten your names outside, and he says, "This is Captain Nemilar. You may deliver your satchel to him," and then he takes his leave. The captain looks up at you and waits expectantly.
I say, "Greetings, Captain. We have a delivery from the Lieutenant Commander over in Brawl Space, and I'll offer the satchel to him."
Ah, good. You must be the delivery people they're working with these days. All right, thank you. He takes that from you, and you see a ring on his finger glow briefly as he looks at the outside of the satchel.
This.
All right. And then he
Mental note.
And then he breaks the wax seal on one of them after nodding to himself, and pulls out a top sheet of paper and reads over it quickly. Then folds it up and puts it back in, looks at you, Higgimus, and says, "Ah, I understand that you also need some location of an artifact that we have lost."
Yes, we're supposed to be doing an investigation for that.
I will need to check our archives. It's the material that we have from that time has been difficult to collate, shall we say. There was much
How long
lost
ago
in
was
the
this thing lost?
300 years.
Damn, that's a long time.
Not for an elf.
No, not
Yeah,
for now.
But it was a very chaotic time. So, a lot of information was destroyed, and supply lines and lines of communication were disrupted, stuff like that.
Was that during the Human Wars?
Yeah, the Unhuman War.
Unhuman War, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. He says, I'll review the information and I'll have someone deliver what we have to you as soon as we get it together. And I will need you to keep me apprised of what your next destinations are. We may need you to deliver some other missives.
Right now we're just waiting until we can buy we're waiting to buy a ship. A new one.
He kind of waves dismissively. Matters not to me what your reason for being here is, as long as you keep me informed of when you're planning to leave and where you plan to go.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yep. If there's anything else you need from us, you may come by and make such a request.
Excellent. Thank you.
He nods and he nods dismissively. You would definitely know that kind of nod,
Yep.
Higgimus.
Yeah, I'll take my leave.
Okay.
I'll follow after.
Indeed.
Braxon says thank you in Elvish.
I look at I shoot Braxon.
Throws a very casual salute and spins around and leaves.
He doesn't really give it any heed.
We really are tourists.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, indeed.
So you've delivered that. What's the next plan that you guys want to do?
I think we were gonna go look at ships.
Yeah, so we need to head to the shipyard that's what was that thing called again that we talked to, the creature?
Millipede
Rastipede.
person thing. Recipe.
Yeah. We'll go to the
I got the peed part right.
I got the peed part right.
So you head to.
Interesting
He
selection.
directed you to the arcane tower in the center of refuge. So you're gonna make your way there.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. It's a bit of a longer walk there. As you are leaving, you do see there's a number of small craft moving about the atmosphere of the planet, and you see one of them land near you on what almost looks like a little gated area with two Giff on either side, and various individuals leave the small craft. You see 3 humans, an elf who makes his way towards the elven embassy. He's wearing the uniform of the Imperial Navy, and 2 hobgoblins. And they just all split up and go in different directions.
That is an interesting group.
It looks like a
Is
fair...
it a shuttle of some sort?
Might be. You want to go take a look?
Yeah, I'll take a look.
Yeah, let's go take a look.
Okay. As you get closer, you do see a sign on board, next to the guarded gate, and yeah, it does turn out to be that it is a shuttle. There's a kind of a loose schedule on the routes it will take, and it will leave in about 15 minutes. One of the stops is the arcane tower in the center of refuge.
Do we want to hitch a ride to get to the arcane tower?
I'll look at the schedule and I'll look to see how far the walk might be. Does it look like it'll be faster to take the shuttle, or will it be faster just to walk there?
Yeah, you think it would be an hour walk.
Okay. Well, I say, hey, let's take the shuttle. Be faster.
Well, how much does it cost?
Yeah, we had to figure that out.
One of the gifts says gold piece each.
Okay, I'll give him a gold piece.
Yeah, the gold piece isn't exactly much.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. You get on board. It's a pretty tight fit. The craft itself is not one that you're familiar with. It kind of reminds you of a wreck boat, but a bit bigger. Certainly more people can fit inside of it than the wreck boats that you've seen. But it's...
How's it powered?
There is a mage in a helm of some sort
Alright.
at the front. Now, upon boarding it, you're kind of surprised. The thing is kind of rickety. It's not in great condition. But there's also 2 Giff at the back who are quite well armed.
Well, hopefully we'll not be on it too long.
After the brief wait period, there's a few other people on board as well. Looks like they may have been on from a different stop kind of thing. And it launches, and it makes a quick stop along the way. Takes on 2 more individuals, a Mind Flayer and a Beholder. And no one speaks to each other. Other than, you guys may be speaking to each other, but none of the other people on board are speaking to anyone else. And if you try to make polite conversation with them, they kind of ignore you, pointedly.
I'm trying to keep my eyes away from the Beholder, because I hear that if you look at a Beholder's eyes, bad things will happen.
All right.
Brax is actually going to size everyone up.
The Beholder is chewing on something rather noisily. You're not sure what it is, and you may not want to know. But the next stop of the shuttle is the Arcane Tower. It puts down, and one of the Giff makes the announcement of the stop, and no one else is getting off here, but you guys go ahead and
We are.
depart.
Yeah, we're getting off.
Yeah, we get off.
All right, you find yourself in another little landing area, much like the one that you took off from, and it is right next to the Arcane Tower, which is very, very tall. You're not sure exactly how many floors it has. There don't appear to be too many windows, but there are a few weapon emplacements on small stone towers around. You were noticing these before, but they're more densely located around here. There's at least 8. You'd guess it kind of like the cardinal points and semi-cardinal points. They have ballistas in each one. And the Arcane Tower has very large doors, good 20 feet tall, it looks like. And they stand open. And there are some people going in and out of various races and stuff like that.
Shall we head on in, people?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Sounds good to me.
If they'll let us in.
Okay. The doors are guarded by at least 6 Giff, but they don't really pay any mind to you as you go in.
Okay.
Inside is a rather large plaza-type area, and there are wide stairs at the back going up to an upper level. You're seeing at least 2 levels of doors and openings and stuff like that. And down here on the lower floor, basically the entire left side is has a sign that reads Arcane Shipworks.
All right. Is there a you are here thing map?
Not really. But the left side has the big sign, Arcane Shipworks. The right side includes Arcane Helm Sails, and up above there's a number of other signs for arcane goods. There's arcane weapons, there's arcane ship items. It's very easy to see. You don't actually need a sign.
Okay. Let's head to the left then for the shipworks.
Okay.
Does this place have a closing time?
It doesn't seem to, and I actually have someone at my door, so I need to step away for just a moment. I don't know why. They're being very persistent with the doorbell. I was going to ignore it. So I'll be right back. Sorry.
This is clearly a door-to-door salesman.
It's a Doha.
Would you like my fine leather jackets?
So how do we hijack old stream?
Anybody here good at hacking?
No. All right. So we're gonna go here. We're just gonna ask for a person to show us the ships that they have right now, I guess.
We also got a potential, well, another helm that we could sell, but don't know if we're going to consider putting that in as collateral or not. We're definitely not selling it, or are we selling the extra helm?
All right, sorry about that.
The extra.
Ah,
Hold on to them for right now.
Okay, so you head over to the left to the Arcane Shipworks, and again, you still see no Arcane around. But there are at least a dozen different Rastipedes who are, most of them are talking to other individuals. One is talking to an Illithid, one is talking to a Beholder. Most of the others are talking to humans. There's a dwarf and there's a halfling in there. A couple of different groups. One of them kind of reminds you of yourselves. There's five individuals. One, a human in robes, shaved head, holding, with a staff. There's a dwarven male in plate armor and an axe. There's an elven female in robes. Lafdul, you recognize them as robes of Sehanin Moonbow.
Mm-hmm.
And a half-elf in leather armor and a human with a halberd.
so a typical adventuring party.
Pretty much.
Well, I'm sure we don't look too much different.
Nope.
I might come across. How rare is my class as a priest in an adventuring party? Because I might be like the oddity.
In an adventuring party, more common than not in an adventuring party as elves go, elven priests go.
I wonder how uncommon a paladin is in an adventuring party.
Erevan Ilisir is definitely, kind of a god of adventurers.
Yeah.
So,
The most uncommon probably ranges actually, because they're right up and they're usually loners.
in wild space to a certain extent, yeah. But as you are making your way over there, a Rastipede notices you and immediately bolts for you before any of the other free Rastipedes notice you coming.
Are all the sellers?
Leva casually greets him in Rastipede and looks at Braxon.
Are all the sellers look like Rastipedes?
Yeah, as far as you can tell, they're all Rastipedes.
Damn our luck. All right. I'll once again quirk an eyebrow at Leva, and then I'll turn to the Rastipede and say, "Greetings."
As he comes up, he kind of nods at Leva, but since Higgimus is in the lead, he kind of looks at you first and says, customers. You may call me Tchixin. Now, since you're here, Tchixin. Tchixin.
Can you put that in chat?
I could, but then I would not get the endless amusement of you guys failing to pronounce it properly.
That's fine.
I should just write it in Northern. Tchixin.
I will put it in. So, he introduces himself and then says, since you're here, you are obviously in the market for a fine new vessel, correct? Or used, as the case may be.
Yes, we're in the market for a new vessel, new for us, if the price is right.
Indeed, indeed. Now, how much are you looking to spend today?
Well, we just want to see what larger tons ships are available.
Okay. Well, we have many fine selections. You come over here to my office, and I would be more than happy to go over what we have available down at the shipyards.
All right.
He leads you to an enclosed room. There are no actual doors, so you can definitely hear sales pitches from outside and stuff like that. And kind of surprisingly, there are no chairs either. There's a big desk that he sets himself up behind. And he starts listing some various ship designs. And
They have, like, just for us to look at as well, or something along those lines.
are you asking if they have ship designs to look at?
Yeah, like visual aids.
You got a catalog or something, I suppose.
Well, I mean, when you have some in mind that you want to look at, I would be more than happy to take you down to the shipyard to take a look at them.
Ah,
I'll go for like a tonnage range. You say between this and that. So above 50, below 80.
We certainly want something better than the Barge of Batar we currently have.
Yeah. So, if you could please go over like a list of your large ton ships, that'd be great.
Well. I assume that you already have a major helm.
We do.
You do need
in the
a sixth one?
barge.
And indeed, okay. Well, of course, since you have a barge of Ptah, you're not going to be interested in that. Well, we have a fine whale ship that has been recently repaired to almost new condition. It's a fantastic model. You would love it to death, I'm sure. It can haul many tons of cargo if that's what you're interested in.
No, thank you for that one.
Well,
Probably something along the lines of like maybe an octopus or a battle dolphin or hammer ship or something like that.
indeed,
Something that's
indeed.
maneuverable and has weapons in case we end up in combat. We're adventurers.
Well, we have many fine ships. I do believe that there is an octopus in stock. We've got Triops, which are always popular. We've got an Elven man-o-war that is looking for a good home. I believe we may have a battle dolphin and a hammer ship as well. Actually, we probably have 2 hammer ships. They're pretty common. Now, are you sure you wouldn't like a couple smaller vessels? Set up a trading concern, do multiple cargo runs. We have a pair of very fine swan ships.
We're not cargo haulers.
We're not cargo crawlers. We go in and hit things.
Indeed. Okay.
If we don't take the battle dolphin, we might be interested in a smaller shuttle to go on another ship.
Yeah, probably.
But we're not cargo people.
Are you sure you would not like swan ships? They're very fine vessels.
I'm positive that we would not like a swan ship.
That is a shame. That is a shame. Well,
I'm not sure our captain would fit on a swan ship.
Yeah.
Oh, swan ships are well designed vessels. They have high ceilings.
Okay.
And
It's a fine vessel. I'd be more than happy to show you the pair.
Swan ship. That's
Let's see what we have left over after we take a look at some of the bigger ships.
Swan ship is a bigger ship, I think.
No, a swan ship is a small ship. It was going to be like a ship to have on the bigger ship.
I don't think so.
he was trying to sell it to us as selling a 2 pair of ships. This is not a game. Probably for a deal.
Who makes the swan ship?
Oh, it is a fine halfling vessel.
Oh, yeah, we're not touching it.
Yeah, we're not touching that.
Really, that is a surprise. Giff tend to like them. I mean, if you're sure, I could make a good deal for them right now.
By any chance, do you happen to have a great bombard?
I don't think we want a grey bombard.
We
No.
don't, but Higgimus is just going to ask just in case.
Well, as it happens, we do have 2 fine ones in stock. One of them does need some repairs, however, if you're looking for a pair.
Oh my god.
Higgimus's ears twitch a little bit. He's like,
Higgimus.
I would be more than
That's
happy
not
to
gonna
show
end
you
well.
these great bombards. They are fine vessels.
Higgimus.
give me a moment. I'll turn to Braxon, and I'll say, I really think our choices are between the octopus or the battle dolphin or the hammer ship.
Yeah, I think so too. It could come down to how many weapons we get on each one.
I think the octopus probably had the most out of those.
Should we ask? Oh wait, you two are talking by yourselves. Never mind.
The octopus will also give us more room for things like Leva's spell research and the crew and such. I think.
So let's see. If I recall correctly, a battle dolphin has 2 medium catapults,
Correct.
but we could.
I
We
think they've
could-
got space where you could put some more guns on it somewhere.
Yeah, we might be able to adapt it to put some more on. A hammer ship has 2 heavy catapults and a heavy ballista, and it also has a ram.
Mhm.
Do any of these ships have a room that can be separated from all the others for testing and experimenting?
We could adapt any of them.
Okay.
Can,
For alchemy and stuff. You know when things blow up?
later down the line, we can redesign the ship, so to speak.
The battle dolphin would give us a shuttle for when we have to go on to Groundly Worlds. So
Yeah, that does also mean that we'll be leaving our ship in space to be possibly attacked and stolen by someone else.
That's why you leave a crew on the ship.
We do, yeah, and then we just have a shuttle with a few crew with us. So there's pros and cons to everything. No, so if I recall correctly, an octopus has 2 heavy catapults and 2 heavy ballista as standard.
yes.
So the octopus is the best man ship out of that lot.
Would that be a compromise between the two? Because I kind of favor the battle dolphin a little bit.
I kind of favor the battle dolphin too.
We could add more weapons to the battle dolphin. It would increase the cost, and it would eat up some cargo space.
I would vote for the octopus. It sounds like it's bigger overall.
The octopus is a 70-ton ship. The battle dolphin is a 70-ton ship that has a 20-ton shuttle.
I thought there was more space in octopus the way you were describing it for out of the way place.
Well, they all have different cargo capacities as well.
Yeah, I'm currently.
But we're not really
supporting-
cargo holders.
I'm currently on the side of the battle dolphin.
If I recall correctly, an octopus can take 35 tons of cargo, hammer ship can take 30 tons of cargo, and a battle dolphin can take 35 tons of cargo. So the hammer ship's got the least, and the other 2 both have 35. Of course, if we added extra weapons to a hammer ship or a battle dolphin, that would decrease the cargo space, but we're not cargo holders, so that probably doesn't matter too much.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably also looking at workshops for spellcasters and that sort of thing. So perhaps we could see if we can get a tour of the ships. If Ald's got the deck plans.
No, I mean, I'll put the deck plans up with whatever one you buy, but...
Yeah.
So, for the players, I did link in the Discord a copy of both the deck plans, so you can kind of get an idea of what it might look like. Of the battle dolphin and the octopus.
If I recall, the battle dolphin has like 2 spaces. There's a space that isn't used on it though. Because I remember you guys talking about this when we were talking about ships the first time, with how the battle dolphin has unused space on it and such.
Yeah, but don't worry about things like that. I mean...
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I think I prefer the capabilities of the battle dolphin more, but I do like the layout of the octopus room design-wise.
Yeah, I like the octopus room design more, but the battle dolphin has better combat.
Like, because you guys were talking about that.
So, I think our choices are kind of whittled down to the battle dolphin and the octopus. You mind if we take a quick stroll and peruse the decks of those ships?
No. I'd be more than happy to show you around the vessels that we have on offer.
Excellent.
He goes ahead and guides you out back outside and around to the back of the arcane tower, and there's actually another shuttle launch pad right there.
Braxon, when we get there, could you check, when we look at these ships, could you look them over to see, make sure there's not anything funny about them? I mean, I doubt, since they're arcane, that there would be anything too seriously wrong.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, I suppose my only concern with the battle dolphin and its shuttle is there's no weapons that come with the shuttle as standard. But we could possibly get one put on.
I mean, you can always buy weapons and put them on.
Yeah. No, I know. That's what I said.
Yeah, I mean, don't get too hung up on what the default weapons are on ships, because they're very easily changeable.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
It just means a tweak and a slight stay.
Yeah, I'm just giving that for everyone. All right, so he actually has a large book with him as well that it's currently closed, but he takes you to the shuttle and you board. It's another similar model of the last thing that you saw. Again, doesn't look like it's in great condition. But
Which one? Oh, the shuttle.
Yeah, the shuttle.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm curious, why are you bringing this up? Is it just like it's like you're trying to make a comparison between like buses, modern day buses, or something?
No, because that's what's described in the material on Refuge.
Is this something that would stick out to Higgimus a lot?
Well, I mean, considering how nice everything is around here and expensive all the villas and buildings appear to be, and how expensive it actually is to be here, yeah, it's kind of weird.
Can
What's this guy's name again?
To Chickson?
Chickson. I'll let Braxon say his thing first, and I'll ask a question.
Can Braxon make a roll to see how bad the Chickson's shuttle is?
Yeah, it's not his shuttle, but I mean, there's a helmsman already on board, and there are 2 Giff in the back, just like the last shuttle you were on.
Is the helmsman an arcane?
No. It's a human priest, looks like. The last one was a wizard.
Okay. The hair standing up on the back. Hair standing on the back, up on the back of Braxton's neck, because this shuttle seems wrong.
I mean, you could roll a carpentry check if you want.
Yeah.
Give me a GM roll.
Oh, sorry. I'll do another one.
Yep.
It's just GM.
Yeah. /
GM roll?
Yeah, / GM roll.
That first one never happened.
All right, and what do you need?
Carpentry. Where are you? There we go. 16.
As far as you can tell, it's maintained just well enough so that it doesn't fall apart.
Okay.
But it definitely looks like, everything done to maintain this is the bare minimum required to keep it flight-worthy.
Chickson.
Braxon walks over to Higgimus and kicks him on the foot.
I'll look at you weird.
And Braxon says, shuttle seems a bit poorly maintained.
Lafdul does a lesson check. He's just like you as they're whispering. He's going to be interested now.
All right, what's your score?
Like 40. I'm just curious to know if I'd hear that.
Yep, you can hear
Can
it.
I read their lip? Can I hear it? Or
If
can
you
I
wanna,
read their
if you
lips?
wanna make a proficiency check, GM roll, please.
Okay, just a moment. I think the rolls from the character sheet are GM rolls,
They might be. I don't know.
aren't they? Let me see. I have to find it first. Da-da-dum. Reading lips. Let me have a look.
I can see a roll.
Yeah, I can see that, bro.
Yeah.
Okay,
so re-roll with the GM. roll.
I re-roll.
Aw.
It's a
So you
shame,
rolled a
isn't
1.
it?
Yeah, that'd be a critical success.
No, why not? Just a moment.
Do
Just
slash
say,
GM roll.
I know what it is. I'm just. There we go.
If she rolled a 1, she'd know what Braxton had for breakfast.
All right, you're able to read Braxton's lips.
Okay.
So,
So,
all right.
Chickson.
Well, was there anything else that Big Mac Braxton wanted to tell you?
No.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Chickson.
To Chickson.
Chickson.
Yeah.
Chickson. I got a question for you.
Yes. It's about one of the potential ship purchases that you would like.
Oh no. I just have a question about what's this place called?
Refuge.
Refuge. We've been on a couple of these transports lately, and everything else here is immaculate and beautiful and well maintained, but these shuttles aren't. What's the deal with that?
Oh, wouldn't want someone to steal one, right?
I guess. Is that really the reason?
That's the reason he gives you.
All right. Fair enough.
Well, they are technically Spelljammer ships.
All right.
Well, they got a helm on them, so even a lesser helm.
The shuttle heads to a farther part of the island, and it looks like these are all the dry docks. And it puts down in another launch pad, and you leave. You were not asked to pay anything, and he did not pay anything as far as you could tell, so it appears that this is specifically a shuttle for going back and forth between the Arcane Tower and the dry docks. As soon as you all get off, the shuttle does lift off and head back to towards the Arcane Tower. And he opens up his book, flips through it, and then says, okay, closes it back, and leads you off to a section of the dry docks. And in front of you are two immaculate, gleaming white swan ships. Now, let me tell you about the finest features of these swan ships.
Oh,
no, thank you.
When he starts that, I'll turn around to the rest of everybody and I'll say in a loud term, "Oh, sorry guys, I guess he doesn't want to sell us any ships today. So let's head on back."
Excuse me. I'm sorry. They're just very fine vessels. I think you'd like them if you get a chance to look at them.
Everybody, sorry. We'll have to tell all the arcane people that this Pete here didn't want to sell us a ship. He kept on trying to show us things that couldn't possibly use. So he
you
obviously
hear
didn't
a
want to show us that.
clacking, choking sound from him, and he says, you were interested in a hammer ship or a battle dolphin or an octopus? Yes. Please come this way.
Oh, that's what you're going to show us. Okay, for a second I thought you were trying to show us these swan ships, and that's completely not what we wanted at all. And I believe we said that before.
Stop rubbing it in. Stop rubbing it in. We're good now.
Braxon says, "Well, I wouldn't mind him showing us his favourite swan ship if he gave us a discount."
Oh, well, I mean, if you're interested in them at a discount...
on the ship you actually want to buy.
Wait!
Depends how much of a
You
discount.
just open the door again.
I'm just gonna start walking towards wherever the octopus ships or the bell dolphins or the other thing is.
Leva turns around to the rest of Pete, says to him in the rest of Pete language, don't play games with us, just lead us to where we want to be.
I mean, the swan ship is a wonderful ship, but I mean, if you're not
Please
interested,
don't
if you're not
be-
interested
don't
in
be
it, I'd be
wanted.
more than happy to show you something more in line with what you're interested in. We are here to serve and make sales, of course.
Please show us what we're interested in. We don't care about the swan ships.
So at that, he opens up his book again and flips through it and then closes it. Please, come this way. Come this way. And he starts walking away from the swan ships.
Excellent.
Sounds good.
All right, you're gonna follow him.
I like where there's an option there.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's an option. So you follow him, and he leads you to another section of the dry docks, and there are two hammer ships. One of them looks fairly freshly painted. The other one, it looks like it's having some work done. There are carpenters working on it, painters, that sort of thing. Next to it is a battle dolphin, and you can see just past a pair of triops and whale ships is an octopus.
All right. Did you want to at least look at the hammer ship, Braxon?
Yeah, I love hammer ships. Let's have a look.
All right.
All right.
So we'll take the tour of the hammer ships.
He gives you
I'll ask
the
the
tours.
difference between the two right now.
I'm sorry?
So,
I'll ask what the difference is between the two right now, or the history of them.
He opens up the book and takes a look. Ah, yes, this one here on the left, that's the one that looks freshly painted. It is a brand new construction. It has never seen action at all. The other one is, I believe it was once a pirate vessel. Some pirate hunters took care of the pirates who infested it, and were not interested in the ship itself, and then sold it to us. We are, of course, refurbishing it to be just like new. There will be, once we're done, there will be no difference at all between these two vessels whatsoever.
so there'll be no difference in price between them whatsoever, I assume.
No, of course. No difference in price. A ship is a ship.
Well, in that case, I would think we'd have the new one rather than the reconditioned one.
Oh, if that's the one that you wish. Like I said, there is no difference at all between the two. He gives you a tour of the new one.
Is there a logbook of the captured ship?
I'm sorry?
Is there a logbook of the captured ship that shows where it's been?
No, I
Braxon
do not
asked you.
believe that was handed to us when we purchased it. You can also see beyond it a number of other ships. You see a barge of tar, you see an ogre mammoth, and at least 3 different beholder ships on the other side of the shipyard. But he gives you a quick tour of the hammer ship. and then leads you over to the battle dolphin.
Braxon goes over and kicks Lafdul in the foot.
What?
And when he's away from Tachixin, he says, "You might want to look under the floorboards in case the pirates hid anything there."
We're on the new ship.
We're on the new ship.
Yeah.
Sure, if you can destroy. Oh, you mean with my ring?
And the other one has workmen all over it.
Yeah, there's workmen all over it. There's no way he's gonna get anything from it.
No, I can. I don't need to gesture with my X-ray ring. I just need to concentrate.
Yeah, but you're not on that one.
Yeah.
No. Are we going to go through the other ship or not?
No, because
We're going to entertain that idea.
He's showing you the one that is in, current saleable condition.
Yeah.
So
And he tells you that the layout of the other one is the exact same.
Yeah. So Braxon says to Tachixin, how far away is this one from completion?
Oh, it could be finished within a week.
Might be worth having a look, just see what it's like.
Oh, we wouldn't want to interrupt the workers.
Okay, fair enough.
But I thought what happened.
So he then takes you over to the battle dolphin and gives you a quick tour of that vessel. Points out the shuttle, how useful it is to get onto to land onto groundling worlds and things of that
Can
nature.
the dolphin itself land on in water or no?
No.
No. It cannot
In
land.
fact, the interesting thing is that the battle dolphin is hovering in the dry dock. I mean, it is not actually like attached to anything. It is hovering in the air.
Oh. Braxon says, is this a magical dry dock?
Tachixin looks at you with kind of an odd expression and says, "Of course it is."
So would it be able to dry dock at any like port such as like Brow?
Well, I mean, it would. They would be able to dry dock it, of course, and if it's an asteroid world with piers on the gravity plane, then it would dock just fine.
Okay.
So it doesn't need the float.
No.
No.
Okay, good.
So that's how it works. All right. Cool.
All right. After
Battle
giving you the
dolphin.
tour of the battle dolphin, he takes you over to the octopus and gives you a quick tour of that as well, pointing out the movable limbs where the weapons are placed, giving it essentially full field of fire with all 4 weapons.
I like the sound of that.
Mm-hmm. And the
I
layout's
really do. What's the maneuverability of it?
They're all actually D, maneuverability class D.
That's better than our barge, right?
Yes.
So what is the octopus's abilities to land and such?
water, probably.
The octopus can land on land, not in water.
Oh, on land. Okay.
Yeah, there's,
and the dolphin can land on land or water?
The
Not
dolphin itself
floats.
cannot land on anything.
Except for
The
Ash-
shuttle can land
That's
in
why
water.
we need the shuttle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the hammer ship can land in water.
Oh, I'm in favor of the octopus now.
So with the octopus, we could take our entire crew to a planet.
Looking at the octopus, 2 of the arms are very, very sturdy, and they're kind of positioned below it as landing struts.
Okay, like a helicopter.
Kind of, yeah.
I'm still really interested in the battle dolphin. I like the idea of having a small shuttle.
Yeah, but the thing is we would have to leave the battle dolphin in space, where a crew could be attacked and killed and the ship commandeered.
So I'll turn towards the Braxon and be like, you're kind of in the know about this sort of thing. Or actually, I'll also Lafdul and Leva and Yeldan more often. How do people react when they see a Spelljammer ship on the groundling world?
It was almost unheard of, I think,
Yeah, I
as far
never
as Lafdul was concerned.
Until I found out about Nyogi, I never knew that Spelljammer existed. Spelljamming ships existed.
So one thing that you guys, Braxon, Higgimus, and Ockar, and Beloriana, in general, people in wild space think of groundlings as ignorant rubes.
Yeah, the thing is it's not just groundling worlds. There are Spelljammer-aware worlds, or worlds where there are ports that are Spelljammer friendly. If you get a ship like the Battle Dolphin, you'd be able to dock at asteroids like the Rock of Brow. You wouldn't have the option of taking most of the crew down on a mission to a world like the one we just carried out, where we went to rescue the dwarves. There's pros and cons.
One point that Chickson would have made about the Battle Dolphin shuttle is that it looks like a small groundling sailing vessel, and no one would look in askance at it if it pulled into a groundling ocean port, seaport.
There is that. I mean, that assumes we want to go to groundling worlds.
Right. Well, but that's one of the selling points that he would have made.
Yeah.
What are the prices on these ships?
I'm sorry?
The prices on these ships.
Prizes?
Prices.
Oh, prices. Sorry. He has not given you prices yet.
No, we haven't asked yet either because we don't want to know until we know which one we want to get. At this.
Well, he can give us the price for everyone, for every ship that's sitting there.
Do you want to ask him prices?
Yeah,
Leva certainly does.
Ask him what the asking price is for the Dolphin and then the Octopus.
Well, prices are always negotiable, and you were talking about an old ship that you were not interested in. Be more than happy to work out a trade-in.
Yes. I think part of the decision might be made based on the price, though, as well, of the two different ships. We're having a hard time trying to decide between the two, I think.
Yeah, what would be the base price for these two?
Well, let me double check something. Hold on.
Oh, actually, before you do that, so what's everybody leaning towards?
I'm leaning towards the Octopus.
You're leaning towards the Octopus?
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards the Octopus.
Okay.
I'm leaning towards the Octopus now.
I'm leaning towards the Battle Dolphin, but I'm gonna get outvoted.
I'm thinking that if we like the idea of a shuttle, we could perhaps get the Octopus adjusted so that we can have a shuttle as well on the Octopus.
Inside the cargo deck, because it has a cargo.
Real fast, Braxon, you know that the standard asking price for both of the ships is the same.
Yeah. Okay.
What is your leaning towards, Higgimus?
Me? I mean, there's good things about both of them.
Say the one that you want. Say the one that you want.
The hammer ship's cheaper. The hammer ship's cheaper.
We're not going for the hammer ship.
Cheaper.
I'm not a fan of the hammer ship. I like the idea of having the shuttle for, like, if we go to a groundling place. So we wouldn't have a bunch of craziness involved in that.
So how much would it cost to get a shuttle that we can put on the Octopus?
So keep in mind that the Dolphin shuttle itself is a 20-ton ship. The anything that you could get on an octopus would be the biggest thing that you could get as a shuttle would be a mosquito, which is a 6-ton ship. Now,
Right.
a mosquito, an elven flitter, a wreck boat, none of those are easy to disguise. So you would have to, you'd have to hide the ship if you landed on a non-Spelljammer aware groundling world.
I know we've narrowed it down to these 3 ships, but I just remembered he did mention an elven man of war.
Yeah, that's along the same lines as a hammer ship, in my opinion.
I thought I'd bring it up because
What does Leva think?
She leans towards the octopus, but she's not 100% certain. Because the idea with the shuttle sounds rather good, and the possibility of landing in places that I've never heard of Spelljammer sounds good too.
So most of us are leaning towards the octopus, while 2 of us are leaning towards the battle.
So what are you saying that we could get on an octopus, Auld?
The biggest shuttle thing that you could get would be a mosquito.
A mosquito?
Yeah.
Or
well, how about a long ship that's 2 tons less?
Give me a second and I'll look. The thing about the mosquito is that it can fold up pretty well.
Right.
Also, wouldn't that also take up cargo space? Get the shuttle?
Oh yeah, they all would.
We would put them in the cargo deck, right? Because there's a nice big cargo door on the octopus.
Yeah. Most likely.
The only downside is with a long ship.
If we
that's
could get a long ship with the octopus, then that would probably be one of the better options. Because you could disguise a long ship.
A long ship definitely would not fit inside the cargo room.
Then never mind. I'm still voting for the Battle Dolphin.
So, what's the reactions that, what possible reactions would a groundling have? I mean, besides just being curious about it.
They could try and kill us and take it.
Oh.
What the hell is that monstrous thing? Kill him! Monsters coming from the sky! Kill him!
Especially if we were to run into, like, realm space and land near the Red Wizards of Thay.
No, so
they're
I mean,
aware of spelljamming.
if a culture is not aware of spelljamming, they're not going to think of, oh, it's a ship from space. They're going to think of it as a sky ship, and coming off of it are heavily armed people. Obviously, they're attacking and planning to invade with their incredibly powerful magical sky ship.
Yep, sky ship. Well, I don't know if they exist on the realms.
Well, no. I mean, skyship is just something, what you would think of. It's not a concept of a specific thing. It's just, what else are you going to call it?
Sky ships do exist in the realms, but Braxon wouldn't know that.
Right, yes. Ignore that. Forget about that. You guys don't know about that. The point is that random world, a random groundling world that is not familiar with Spelljammer, they're going to think the only thing they can think of it is as a ship coming from the sky, aka a sky ship. That's not a specific concept.
Yeah.
And that's why I support the Battle Dolphin, because it will allow us to go incognito on groundling worlds if needed.
The problem being I guess the Battle Dolphin, the thing is like we won't have our whole crew with us, and we're separated from. We have no idea what would happen to the Battle Dolphin when we are away.
Oh, if we go for the octopus ship, then we probably just can't go on the groundling worlds.
No, we can. We just have to land it somewhere inconspicuous.
And then what? Pull a tarp over it? We're just building a Taco Bell here. Give it no mind.
It's not such a bad idea.
It wouldn't be obvious at all that something weird is there.
It's not such a bad idea. There might be magic that we can use to disguise the ship.
Now, an elven flitter or a wreck boat would be substantially easier, or a mosquito for that matter, would be substantially easier to hide. Land in a small wooden meadow and put plants over it or something like that.
That might be an idea if we can afford the octopus ship and a mosquito.
Oh yeah, we would have to buy the mosquito too.
Yeah, we would have to afford it.
Is the wasp far too big?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the thing is the reason. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know how much a mosquito is, or something like that.
They're all very
Or
small,
flitter.
so that makes them pretty cheap.
Yeah,
Okay.
and especially if we don't. I'm pretty sure we have 2 minor helms, so we don't need a minor helm for the mosquito.
Right.
It's cheaper without a helm.
So that could actually be a good option, yeah. And we could just hide the mosquito when we land.
But the thing is yeah, and then we won't have to worry about weakening a crew.
But
Okay.
But hold on. That does mean a flitter, a wreck boat, or a mosquito. You're not taking crew with you, and you're flying it down yourself. Either that, or a helmsman is flying you down and then flying back and then meeting you.
Mm.
Which
Yeah,
means
mosquitoes.
which means you're leaving something undefended. If you take the Dolphin shuttle, that takes 20 crew. There's a helmsman there, 20 people to defend it, and they would take. If things get too hairy, they could just take off.
Well, the mosquito's a 6-ton ship, so it is undoubtedly smaller than the Dolphin shuttle.
Yeah.
But if we're just landing, we can pack it with people.
Right, but have you seen the picture of the mosquito? I mean, it actually shows 2 people sitting in it. I honestly do not know where the other 4 people would actually go, but the point is that you're basically asking them to sit on top of something and risk falling off.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
wreck boat,
also-
the wreck boat could be packed. The flitter could be packed more easily than a mosquito, despite the fact that a mosquito is 6 tons. But you're still talking about a lot more people on board it than it can really physically hold, which means that they're less able to fight and stuff like that.
I still think we should just get the Bell Dolphin.
And also take into account this, if we're getting the mosquito, I mean, that's the same problem that you're accusing the battle dolphin of having, where you're separating the ships.
Yeah.
The ships.
Yeah.
Yep.
The reason. Oh, 1 second.
I mean, no matter what,
So-
you're gonna either your helmsman is one of the party members is flying down and then they don't have spells, or you've got a helmsman coming down, in which case you'll want some guards with them, or they're immediately taking off and flying back to the ship. In which case,
Well, with the Bell Dolphin, we would have a crew of 20 people on there going down with us, so we could just protect the shuttle until we're ready to leave, and we'd still have the crew on our main ship to protect that. And I imagine we would get some pretty skilled people for that.
now, I mean, with a wreck boat, you could do that too. I mean, you can pack a lot of people in there, not as many as the Dolphin shuttle. And of course, you're also talking about taking people off of your main ship. You would probably you could probably take fewer onto the wreck boat and leave more people on an octopus.
Yeah, the only problem I'm worried about is with is separating your ships like that is why I like the octopus bit better is because it can actually land on the worlds, and then we have everyone there in one place. With the battle dolphin, right, it can't even land on a groundling world.
Yeah, if the battle dolphin could land, there'd be no contest.
Yeah, that is the big
shuttle is
downside.
just something to be like, okay, we
The
need.
Is there a
The
way
thing
to
is, if we look
modify... I have a question. Is there a way to modify a Bell Dolphin so it could land on worlds?
No, it would tip
No.
over.
If you look at the side view, you can see why.
Now,
I see where all that empty space.
I just want to point out also, bringing a whole crew along, there hasn't been very many times when bringing our whole crew down we've actually used that.
Yeah, That's the thing.
Yeah.
We haven't really ever needed an entire crew down there. Only a few
Well,
people.
That's true.
Well-
It's just
Well, there's
the
also, if
part
we look
I'm
at
worried about is leaving like the battle dolphin in space, somebody attacking it while we're not there and taking it.
But I believe that our crew would be able to handle it with the weapons and everything.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
the other
it's a big ship with a lot of hull points, a lot of crew, and if you the weapons on it in and of itself are decent enough. The only thing that's going to be, the only thing that would be really willing to fight it would be something of similar size. You're talking about, maybe at the lower end a squid ship with a brave crew, and then you're looking at bigger things.
Okay.
I would trust our crew's ability to keep the ship safe.
I mean, the fact that it's a
Alright.
big ship in and of itself is going to be more deterrent than anything else.
Yeah,
Fair.
so I think that's part of the reason why I think the Battle Dolphin's a better option here.
All right, yeah. If most people won't attack a battle dolphin, then yeah, I'll go with that then.
Okay, anything we do at an asteroid where we can dock at the gravity plane, either ship would work.
Mm-hmm.
So the only difference we're talking about is how often we're going to land on a planet, and that can either be a groundling planet or a non-groundling planet. So like Spiral, for example, in Brow Space. And if we were going to land on that planet, would we ever want to take all of our crew, or would we ever want to take a small ship and hide our identity as people from wild space?
I don't think we would need an entire crew of a big ship if we were going down
No.
somewhere. I think we would. I think it would be better to have the smaller crew that could fit the 20 people that could fit on a shuttle than the entire crew, because the entire crew would be overkill.
Here's the thing. The only downside to Battle Dolphin shuttle is it can only land in water.
That is a downside.
But
Which could be miles away from a landing spot where we want to go.
We could always put in a secondary kind of shelter if we need to land, if there's no water areas to land.
You could always get a wreck boat too.
Yeah, we could get a wreck boat and a shuttle.
cargo space.
It has the same amount of cargo space as the octopus, even with the shuttle.
It just has less weapons consequences.
Yeah.
Man.
But it's very big. And it's got a lot of hull points, which makes up for that.
We might want to consider putting mounting a weapon on the shuttle, but
We definitely would want to do that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
want to do that if we did it.
okay. I think I'm going with Battle Dolphin now.
So my thing is
The
this.
only
Okay,
thing
my
is
two
I-
things. Sorry, go ahead.
I was
Catch
going
up.
to suggest if we were going to put Leva's lab, we shouldn't put it in one of the existing rooms. We should probably maybe make a space on one of the cargo route decks for it.
I was thinking about putting her lab on the shuttle so that she could just, so that if she needs to do a particularly wild kind of experiment,
Blow up the entire shuttle.
they're not
Yeah.
long enough
I
dolphin.
don't think I'm looking at the shuttle plans here and enough room.
Yeah.
It's really
All right.
really small.
So I mean, to me, it comes down to the octopus having what looks like to be a little bit more space, and
And more weapons.
more weapons. But the weapons, once again, we can always put more weapons on a ship.
We can, but we lose space. We lose space on the Battle Dolphin to trade
But
for
we're
the
not a
weapons.
cargo. We're not a cargo hauler, so that's
Yeah.
fine.
What's our next few missions, so to speak?
We're just gonna be tracking down that elven artifact.
Where
Yeah,
is
so-
that? Is that on a planet or is this in the middle of like space?
I think planet stuff.
It'll be a planet, but it's also not a groundling. It's not like it's be a Spelljammer planet most likely.
Well, we don't know.
Mostly elves.
We don't know.
If I was to have a guess.
We don't know.
I would think if we could get like a wreck ship on the Battle Dolphin along with the shuttle, then we would be fine no matter the situation.
Okay, let's face it. Whichever choice we make, there'll be times when we have problems. If we go with the octopus and we need to land on a water world, we can't.
Yeah.
if we go with the battle dolphin and we need to land the shuttle on a desert world, we can't.
Well,
that's
Not
right.
unless, not unless we were to do something. Well, we could crash. Yeah, we could crash anywhere. We literally, you would have to drop me and some of the crew, and we'd have to make a dry dock cradle in order for you to come back and land the ship in. So, we're always going to have somewhere where our choice gives us a disadvantage. So perhaps we'll take missions that work to what we've got.
There are
these...
very few ships that can land on both land and water.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
If
Lafdul.
we really need to, like the Barge of Batal was kind of alright hitting the ground, if I recall.
But it's a water ship. Mainly.
It crashed. It crashed. Yeah.
Yeah, it took hull damage. So,
but could we like do a controlled crash, like?
That's
if you want to take hull damage.
That's what we did.
Hold on, guys. Lafdul, you're trying to get something in. What are you asking?
I was wondering if this had any implications of these two ships fitting in our asteroid back on Brawl Space.
The Battle Dolphin wouldn't be able to land inside the asteroid in that water pool.
Both of them basically can't fit inside.
But we could take the shuttle from the Battle Dolphin and fit it in the water area of the asteroid.
The thing is we might as well build dock on it at that point to dock
True.
the dolphin on the gravity plane of the asteroid.
Yeah.
We would have to build a dock either way because we couldn't be able to fit the ship inside the asteroid.
We did get a quote about expanding the space inside the asteroid, but if we can't land either of those in the water, then we'd have to dump the water in order to get them into the gravity plane, which kind of defeats the point of having an asteroid full of water.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
we just build a space dock on the outside.
We could build a space dock on the outside.
An asteroid full of water means that you've got water for drinking.
Yeah, that's the point of the water.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we dump the water, in order to be able to fly either of these ships inside, we've wasted the water.
Yeah.
That's why we built the space dock on the outside for that.
Yeah.
The only reason we would ever want not to do that is if we want to kind of keep it hidden, but
we're not a secret organization or something. There's no reason to keep it hidden.
well,
Not
hey,
yet.
we make enemies.
Yes.
We'll have a few enemies.
We don't have any major enemies, and any enemies we would have, we've killed.
All right, so
I don't think that's the case.
I think it's 6 one way, half dozen the other.
Oh, these.
I'm gonna go Battle Dolphin. I changed my vote to Battle Dolphin at this point.
I think that makes it 3-3. All right, let's do the pick number thing.
Or we could just flip a coin.
Our fate is decided by dice rolls yet again. After approves.
All right, so who wants to roll then?
I'll do it.
Okay, and who is rolling for the other side?
Braxon says, "Well, hang on. If you guys all want a battle dolphin, that's fine, but we'll have to pay to have another weapon put on the ship, the shuttle."
We have plenty of money.
We can do that.
I roll for the other side.
Okay, so
What do
Well, it
we
sounded
roll?
like Braxton was starting to drift over to the Battle Dolphin side.
all right, so Ockar is going to roll for the battle dolphin, and Leva is going to roll for the octopus. Is that correct?
Okay. What do we roll?
All right, 1d10, and let me think of a number first. Actually, let's go with 20.
Who's roll 20? Whoever rolls highest.
What?
All right.
Like a normal attack roll.
Okay.
Roll a d20.
Yeah, both of you roll a
Okay.
d20, and whoever is higher.
Oh, but that's
Battle Dolphin!
Battle Dolphin it is.
Okay.
Battle dolphin it is.
Fine.
Yeah, apparently
we're Fine.
fated to have a Battle Dolphin.
Okay. So
Thank you. Now that wastes the crit for combat, but I'm happy.
Well,
all right. Well, just to be sure, is everyone
Yes.
at least okay with this?
I'm not
fine.
against it, really.
Okay. I mean, like, I don't want someone to be in a position where it's like, I hate this now, kind of thing. So.
Yep.
No.
I do like the looks of the octopus a lot better, but that's
I
okay.
like the looks of the octopus better, and it was also easier to redesign if I had to.
But I think we were all kind of okay with the battle dolphin at least.
All right. Well, if it gets to a point where you guys just are not happy with it, you can always trade in. You know, you can always sell it and get a different ship. So.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So.
How many reverse gravity decks do we have on each one?
2.
2.
Actually, there's... Yeah...
Yeah, 2.
Yeah, there's two on the battle dolphin. And there's 2 on the octopus.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
there's reverse gravity from upper decks. Oh wow, does that mean we're gonna have to walk on the ceilings?
Basically,
Yeah.
but it won't feel that way.
You
Yeah.
go through the hull and you kind of flip upside down.
Yeah.
Sort of.
I
Yeah.
mean, you were doing that on the barge. The cargo hold was reverse gravity.
That's fun.
All right.
Mhm.
So after your discussion while Chickson was flipping through his book, you turn to him and he says to you before you can say anything, would you happen to want to look at the Great Bombard?
We decided
Yes.
on the bells.
Yes, I'll look at the big one.
Oh,
We decided on the battle dolphin.
wait. What? Okay.
Higgimus will turn around and just wink at you and say, just humor me.
Okay, fine.
All right, let's humor you. Let's go and have a look.
He takes you to the
plan.
to one of the great bombards that that they have, and gives you a tour of it, gives you pointers, and he spends a very long time speaking, basically just to Higgimus, on the power and punch of the great bombard cannon itself.
Oh,
when Higgimus
Braxon's-
sees that, hold on. When
Braxon's
Higgimus
going to
sees
be asked.
Yeah, hold on, go on.
that- when Higgimus looks at that, the big gun, the great bombard gun, he just starts to break down crying.
Higgimus,
It's like,
no.
oh, it's a beautiful thing.
So beautiful.
Higgimus. Higgimus.
Braxon's not going to allow him to just talk to Higgimus. He's going to ask him lots of questions about the ship.
He gives you Braxon very perfunctory, but you know, they're very perfunctory answers. They answer the question, but like as quickly and as briefly as possible, and then he immediately turns back to Higgimus and starts describing how wonderful the Great Bombard Cannon is.
Higgimus, please. We agreed on the battle dolphin.
I think this would solve both our problems.
Higgimus.
We could land on the Groundly world. They wouldn't think anything of it.
Higgimus.
What are any
How
laws
much would it
against
cost?
victimization?
Higgimus, how much would it cost, Higgimus?
Higgimus,
Oh.
no.
I don't know off the top of my head how much this thing is.
Higgimus, no.
Yeah,
Just no.
Holy.
There's nothing that says we can't ask for the price. I turn around to the guy and
We already agreed on a
and
ship.
ask him how much does something like this cost?
Oh, no need to worry about that. It's fully negotiable. And then he immediately
give
turns
us a
back.
starting price.
He
Give us a starting
he
price.
immediately turns back to Higgimus and starts talking about how wonderful the cannon is.
Higgimus, please.
I turn to Higgimus and say, ask for a price. Ask for a starting price.
Higgimus. No, we're not asking for a starting price. We're not getting it.
How much is
It's
this
still
thing?
a week. Yeah.
Oh, don't worry about the price.
Higgimus,
guys!
if they start like this, it's too expensive.
Yeah,
Ockar's
it's
just
way
No,
too
unless
Well-
unless you can give. I turn around to the rest of it and I say, unless
keep
you
in
can
mind-
give us a price, we already know that it's too expensive, so don't bother.
Well, he hasn't
These things are
given
way too expensive.
he hasn't given you a price on the other ships yet either.
The typical price of these things is 100,000 gold pieces, and it's only a 40-ton ship.
Yeah.
So
And
why
it's
do you like
delivered-
it so much?
It's
Why-
a
why
big
do I like
gun.
this? It's
Yes.
a huge gun. I, Asher, personally, don't think it's that cool. I mean, I think it's neat.
No,
I don't
I'm
think it's
asking
that
Higgimus.
great, but
I'm asking Higgimus. I know Asher. I don't know whether he likes it or not, but Higgimus is important for me.
Okay. Yeah, Higgimus will turn around and be like, "Look at the size of those shots. They're as big as you are."
Yeah, but it's
I could fit a lava in there. Think of the boom.
Higgimus, we don't need a great
boom. I can silence a boom.
it's only got 3 weapons. So,
it has that one giant gun, but it doesn't have very many others.
it has 2 light catapults, which don't do hull damage.
But
After a while,
Higgimus, we can install something that goes boom on the other ones.
Please no.
So after a while, Higgimus will kind of like stroke the barrel a little bit, and you'd be like, "Some other day, my love."
I guess we know what Higgimus's orientation is. Gun lover.
So just so you guys know, just so you know, the hull damage from the Great Bombard is 3d12.
Stop it, Ald.
But how much smoke powder does it take to fire one of those things?
A lot.
Like 10?
Way more than we have money for.
Yeah.
We have a lot of smoke powder, to be fair.
Yeah. There's also the fact that if it blows up in the phlogiston, it would do a lot of damage to our ship.
Yeah! We would be dead!
I don't think Higgimus cares about that, and he certainly is not thinking of it.
It would be worth it.
No, it wouldn't!
But yeah,
have to be the voice of reason here.
Higgimus will shake his head like he's trying to come out of a funk, and he'll say, "No, we need to discuss a price for that battle dolphin we looked at."
Well, let's go back to my office and we can discuss prices.
Was there more than one battle dolphin?
There was only the one there.
One there. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a new construction?
It is not. No. But looking over it, it looked brand new. I mean, these when they refurbish a ship, they refurbish a ship here.
Okay.
The Braxon, you know ships and how they're built. Can you do a checkup? Is it really as good as they say it is, etc.? Or can you find fault with it?
He would need to do an actual inspection, and they would be more than they'll let you, but that's like a day process kind of thing.
Yeah.
So should we call? I'm thinking of a name for the ship. Should we call it the hilt, the blade, or the crossguard?
Maybe
Don't we
wait.
want to buy it first?
Yeah, maybe wait until you buy it.
Okay, true.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're going to sell up the price. Oh, they're naming this ship. Oh, they want this ship then.
Okay, I was asking out of character, but okay.
All right, so
we don't want the ship at all. We just want to see the price.
He guides you back to the shuttle, which takes you back to the Arcane Tower, and he leads you back to the his office.
Are we buying the ship right now? I asked the party.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to negotiate a price with the trade-in, and then I'm going to say it's contingent on our what are you called, Braxon? Shipwright. Are you a shipwright or a carpenter?
He's a carpenter.
Where are you?
He's a carpenter. He's not a shipwright.
Carpenter.
Our ship's carpenter going over it with an inspection, and once he gets his okay, we'll do the final sell.
Okay.
I could probably give us an advantage if I had a day's rest to prepare another spell. I could drink a potion of ESP, and I could have telepathy, and I could tell you if he's lying, or if you could push for, the lower band of how much he's willing to sell it for.
Braxon,
just a few thousand.
How much are these things normally go for?
They're both 70,000.
70,000. Okay.
Yeah, so the battle dolphin, if we're going to put another weapon on, will cost us a little bit extra.
That's fine.
Okay, so
depending on what weapon we want to put on the shuttle.
I think we have enough money for the 70,000.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
We've got a credit note as well.
All right. Well, he takes you back to his office, and we will begin the negotiations after our break.
Yep.
So we'll be back in about 10-15 minutes. So go ahead and hit the can, get a drink, whatever, get some lunch. and we will we'll see if you guys can get a good deal.
You're gonna get all. You're gonna try to get us all of our money.
Of course. So we'll be back in a few minutes, everyone.
There's a reason why there's only recipees.